No, you do it.
Okay. Hi there. Welcome to the podcast. How are you doing?
Very well, thanks. How are you?
I'm all right.
Why are you laughing at?
It's just you. What have you been up to?
What have I been up to? Not a lot, I don't think. We had some sad news this week, didn't we, about the Darkness tour not happening.
I thought you were going to say the Pope.
Oh, well, I mean, yeah, the Pope.
Let's talk about the Pope.
Okay, we'll talk about the Pope. Yeah, that's sad. He's gone, apparently, I saw, for a very minimalist coffin compared to what is normally traditional. So there you go. I've seen a thing where you can get buried and like turned into compost. I don't know what they do with you after your compost, but it's like you sort of, they put you in with a load of stuff and you bake like a big compost pile, but you're in there and you become it. I like the idea of that, but it's very niche, isn't it? That's going to cost loads of money. I mean, granted, that's not my problem, it's your problem, but I might have that written. I'm going to orchestrate the most elaborate, wasteful funeral that I can think of, and you're going to have to do it because it's going to be my wishes, or I'll haunt you. I'm going to haunt you anyway.
So welcome to Deathcast.
How? No, actually, no. I don't know whether I've said this before, but my absolute favourite way to get rid of my dead body, if I, not like someone murder me, I don't want that. But, I die of natural causes, everything's happy, then you're going to have a funeral. What I want is for my body to be thrown over a boat and a shark eat it. Or multiple sharks. They can, do that frenzy eating thing, but definitely would want to get eaten by a shark.
So what's the reason for that? The shark?
I like sharks. I think they deserve stuff to eat, and I'm not using my body anymore, so have at it. And just cool way to go, isn't it?
Do we know if sharks like a living?
No, but I won't be living. I'll be dead.
Yeah, but they might not be interested in like a dead body.
No, you have to put me in pretty soon after. And no formaldehyde or anything like that.
But they might like it when you thrash about. That's how they. I don't know enough about sharks.
Thrash me about in the water to get their attention, and then let them have.
And that's the most dignified way to say goodbye. Or your loved ones watching while your corpse gets thrashed around in the water to try and attract jaws.
It would be a nice thing to do for the sharks at the end of the day, wouldn't it?
I guess,
yeah, it'd have to be like a cat and a mouse. You have to make them feel like they've killed me,
right,
so that they, can save face. So don't tell them I'm dead.
Right.
Like Weekend at Bernie's me, so I'd be like on the edge of the boat, and then you make me move a bit, and then oops, I fall in, and then there's like I could be tied to something where it makes it look like I'm moving, then they can eat me.
Okay, wow.
Or cremation. I think. Unfortunately, I think it's going to be just your regular old standard exit service.
I mean, we'd have to travel for sharks, wouldn't we?
Yeah, really far, unfortunately. Actually, no, do we have any on English shores? We might have some.
I don't know. You don't hear about it, do you?
No, but we could look into it.
Yeah.
But we got sidetracked there. I was saying about the Darkness.
Yeah.
The Darkness have cancelled their tour.
Yeah.
They've been a bit vague about the reason, saying it'll become apparent. Hopefully everyone's well and safe and happy and it's nothing, bad, but it's a shame that we won't be seeing the Darkness.
We're
looking forward to it.
For a change, because we haven't rocked out. We haven't been seeing any bands in a while, have we?
No, they keep cancelling on us.
They keep cancelling, yeah. I think we're cursed.
No one wants us there. They'd rather cancel an entire tour than have us there, which is fair.
I mean, yeah, it's their decision, isn't it?
Yeah. So, yeah. Because they haven't even mentioned about scheduling. What's the right word?
I think it's scheduling, but everyone says scheduling.
Okay. On one or the other, they haven't rescheduled. So, boo.
Yeah, come on, the Darkness. Give us some fucking tasty rock and roll.
I have touched Justin Hawkins twice, though, haven't I?
Well, yeah. Do you want to tell that story?
Yeah, there was once when
touching people.
I touched his hand when he was on stage. And then one of the times when he does that thing where he goes around the audience on like a security guard's shoulders playing his guitar, I touched him then. So that's pretty good.
Maybe that's why they cancelled he was singing getting
touched. Behave. Yeah, so third time's not a charm. Unfortunately.
Have you got anything else you want to bring to our audience before we get back into this magazine?
I don't think I have I?
I mean, you tell me.
I mean, you're going to remember better than I would. If I've said something, no, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, don't move your chair.
Okay, because there's a cat behind it.
As always.
Oh, we saw some very cute cat pictures.
Yeah.
Oh, and we need to ask people to vote for RJ and the Painful Memories on
the Kerrang Radio and
Kerrang.
Marshall Amps competition, The Deal,
yes.
to get a slot at the Download Festival.
Which is, I've voted.
I've voted.
For them. So obviously, hopefully, they get a shot at Donington,
yeah.
Which is pretty mega.
Yeah. Richard, friend of the show.
Yep.
I mean, he's written to us.
Yep.
Yeah, does some fucking tasty rock and roll.
Yeah, so best of luck to them. And yeah, so anyone, it depends when the voting stops. When does the voting stop?
Didn't say.
Oh, okay, well then vote.
And yeah, we're motivating our army of listeners. or 24 of you.
Hey, well, we voted.
We voted. I voted twice.
And I'm really lazy. So, the fact that I did that is well done me for actually doing something.
Yeah.
But yeah, best of luck.
Yeah, so rock news there. So should we get into the magazine? You don't want to talk about dyed your hair?
Oh, I did dye my hair, yeah. Dyed it, I don't know, red, sort of. It's a like we were saying, it's an ever-changing red at the moment. It's changing like the seasons because the more I wash it, the more it washes out. But it's going through transitions every wash, but I'm enjoying it.
It's like Aussie, it's going through changes.
It's exactly like, I'd do a awful impression now, but I'm going to not.
Maybe later in the show.
Yeah, and my go-to would be his and Kelly's duet, which is my absolute favourite.
The definitive version of that song.
No, I'm not gonna. I can't. No, because I can't. I won't be able to stop, and I haven't warmed up, and I haven't done that in ages. So I feel like my impression's not going to be as good as it possibly.
I mean, you'd have to explain to people that once upon a time, when the Osbournes was on telly, Ozzy and Kelly did a version of that song. I think people have probably forgotten, haven't they? Because I
used to really like the Osbournes.
Yeah, I did.
Well, everyone did, I think, didn't they? It was very popular.
It was the hot thing.
But yeah, it was good. It was fun. No notes. Oh, I learned to speak. I think I got stuck then, like a record. No notes is what I meant to say.
No notes.
Because they've been waiting the last 25 years for me to finally tell them what I think of the Osbournes, but that hot news show on the MTV.
The enduring legacy of that show is that there was a lot of merchandise, and at the time,
your glass,
we got bought 2 big pint glasses of the Osbournes. I think one of them broke. Yeah. I'm still using one.
Yeah.
And it's almost completely faded, isn't it? So you can't really tell.
No, it's pretty much just glass now.
But yeah, it had all the gang on there, didn't it?
Quality merchandise by the Osbournes there.
Yeah. So well done.
And speaking of Sharon Osbourne, she's had red hair in the past, hasn't she?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Kelly. Kelly did, didn't she?
Well, she's had lots of different hair colours though, hasn't she? So it's hard to remember.
And this is the first time you've dyed your hair a colour, isn't it?
Yeah.
You just have your highlights done normally.
Yeah, boring.
You just went, no, fuck it, I'm going to have red hair. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm enjoying it. I'll never go back to a boring colour, I don't think.
So, recommendation for you there.
Yeah. And we were going to re-dye it today, weren't we, outside, so that we don't dye the bathroom, but I've got scared. So we're going to wait a few days because I'm going to have to see a lot of people at work in the coming week. And if we mess it up, it's going to be really embarrassing. So I'll wait until I'm just seeing fewer people. But yeah, we'll report back on what us topping it up goes like outside in full view of neighbours, because it's better than dying in the bathroom accidentally.
Well, this could be a thread on our Instagram.
It could be, but no one wants to see, because I'll be like near the bins or something, and you're planning on washing out with the hose that leaks, and it's just awful. It's just going to be the most unelegant thing that I think
it's probably
we've
not
done in a while.
Kelly and Sharon had theirs done, is it? With Ozzy with a hose outside.
We shall have a bath in a tin bath outside, where we keep warm by the tyres that we set fire in the garden. We're not actually. We're a little bit more sophisticated than I'm making out, perhaps, but I actually don't think we are, because that is going to happen. But anyway,
sophisticated is in the eye of the beholder, isn't it?
Back to Kerrang.
Did you read the music papers from the back and to the front?
Well, RAW magazine number 4.
Oh, sorry, RAW.
From October 1988. This is the 3rd podcast we've done about this magazine.
Right.
Because we still haven't finished it.
Oh, right, okay.
So they've got some classified ads.
Yeah.
I'm going to read you Pen Friends. Male rocker, 32. I mean, that's quite old. Quite old, isn't it?
Yeah.
Seeks female friends to write, meet and share uninhibited letters.
Oh, all right. Okay.
What can he mean?
All right. Okay.
Uninhibited.
Yikes.
All right. So we've got a feature here. Phil Taylor, Hitman, and Sex Symbol. It's a RAW competition. I think you can win some drums. He's talking about drumming.
That's cool.
Basically. So Phil Filthy Animal Taylor from Motorhead. So, quote, don't ask me about quadruple parabolic overhead underhangs or anything, because when I see a drum, I hit it.
Right.
Phil Taylor, the filthy animal from Motorhead, takes a huge liver-smashing slug of special brew and grins mischievously. The little lout from Leeds, I didn't know he was from Leeds, complete with nose-touching fringe, doesn't mess about when it comes to bashing the skins. Percussion, it's more like concussion. When Motorhead steam into the hammer, the track devoted to Taylor's tornado style of sticks work. And to think young Philip started off taking snare drum lessons from an ex-First World War veteran. So I quite like this article. He's talking about playing the drums. They talk about drum solos, but he refuses to do drum solos. He explains, quote, I'd only do one if the equipment broke down and I had to fill in, because I find them boring. Motorhead's not that sort of band to do solos anyway. We're more into presenting Motorhead as one wall of sound, not as a cabaret band. I'm not interested in the flamboyance. I'll leave all the stick twiddling and the solos to others. As far as I'm concerned, I haven't enjoyed a drum solo since seeing John Bonham at Earl's Court in 75.
But so he has enjoyed one?
Yeah.
Right.
But, I mean, that's 13 years previously.
Well.
I mean, what are your feelings on drum solos?
Well, probably a bit hit or miss. Some all right, some go on a bit.
I don't really understand why it's become such a staple of rock gigs, because
gives the others 5 seconds to have a piss and a drink.
Well, yeah, I mean, there you go. That's the reason, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, everyone's got to have a piss and a drink.
Okay, something that's a bit more surprising to hear the drummer from Motorhead say.
Yeah.
One thing Phil has got into recently, however, is electronic drums. Quote, I'd always hated them, he says. They always sounded like you're hitting a lump of wood or something, but you've got these new kits that you can tune to match the feel of your own kit, and they're great. I was going to buy one until I found out they're about 4,500 quid. I mean, he's in Motorhead. You'd have thought. But there are massive advantages to those things. The main one is you can fit the whole kit into the suitcase and just bung it in the back of my Volkswagen Golf. and shoot off to a gig, no problems. There's no mucking about, tuning them up or anything like that. With acoustic kits, the skins can expand, contract according to room temperature, and they'll go out of tune. And you can get exactly the same sound from your kit every night with an electronic kit. So that's, yeah, you wouldn't have thought, he'd be thinking it's not very traditional, is it, to use electronic drums?
I like that he's being money conscious, though.
Yeah, it's just makes sense, doesn't it? Do you know one thing he'd never like?
What's that?
Drum machines.
Well, no one likes them, do they?
They're threatening my livelihood, they are. I mean, they might be reliable and all that, but they can't drink as much as I can.
Well, that's true.
Do you like music? Do you like podcasts? Chances are you like music podcasts. Take this one for example, Pick a Disc, where every fortnight a guest comes on to talk about an album for whatever reason they want to. Sometimes I like it, sometimes perhaps even something else other than just like it. You just listen to the podcast and find out. We talk about the album, we talk about the songs, we talk about the artists, we talk about tangent things that are slightly related, and sometimes we deviate off tangents. But don't worry, we'll always bring it back in the end. But you can find us on all your social medias and all the podcast apps for searching for Pick a Disc. You can also find us on the part of the Weedig Podcast Network under Linktree/Weedig Podcasts. And until then, happy listening to all those discs that you are picking. Goodbye.
And we've got another article. It's called Sign of the Times. It's about Zodiac Mind Warp. You remember our old pal Zodiac Mind Warp? We've talked about him a few times.
Yes.
The clown can so often become the jester. Those who laugh with can also easily laugh at. And thus it happened with Zodiac. When the prime mover single hit the charts, the Earth and several small marsupials seemed to shift at least 6 degrees on its axis. Don't really understand that. The accompanying video, Naughty Schoolgirls Groping Zodiac Around the Thrust and Lust Region, directed by Ade Edmondson, caused an avalanche of interest. Every magazine, it seemed, was going supernova over the Zodiac Comet and the Love Reaction Planetary System. Then came the crash, the Sub-Zero Freeze. So they're basically saying they had
That's
one.
so many words that
It's very verbose. It's written by Malcolm Dome.
Right.
So, yeah.
I lost the thread, I'll be honest.
The thread is they had a single out. Everyone thought they were amazing.
Yeah.
Lots of hype and then nothing.
Right. Okay.
He's saying the first album followed the rock and roll formula, so he's determined to do differently with his next album. Quote, "This time around, the music will be more mature." Zodiac Mind Warp. If only because I wrote all the songs on the first LP myself and my musicianship is very limited. Now I'm allowing the other guys, that's Trash D Garbage and Flash Bastard on guitars.
Flash Bastard's a good name.
Cobalt Stargazer on bass. Slam Thunderhide on drums. Allowing those guys to contribute to that side of things. You see, I've just about exhausted the one riff I know. So it was a matter of either going into a monastery and practicing until I reached the level of Eddie Van Halen, or else using the talents of those around me. The new LP is called Hoodlum Thunder. And amongst the numbers already written are Hoodlum Thunder. This was inspired by the Uzi submachine gun. I got into a really violent vibe for this song. It's a mindless celebration of pointless violence, quite acceptable in heavy metal circles. He says, I'm trying to get away from writing about sex and beer on the album.
Okay.
Because I presume all the songs on the first one were about sex and beer.
Yeah.
If truth be known, I never grew up wanting to perform on stage. My earliest ambition was to rule the world, and I never forgave my parents for not being part of the royal family. I hated living on council estates. I wanted to be king and live in Buckingham Palace. But since this was impossible, I decided I'd have to make my mark in a different way.
Oh.
So there you go. Oh, he's got a song about Satan called Sovereign of Hell. It's inspired by the poet John Milton.
Okay.
And I like the notion of Satan as a type of hero. I said, the angel ruined. As I said, the angel ruined. I see this as an allegory for pride in the internal battle against forces unknown. It has nothing whatsoever to do with the usual metal vision of Satan as a horrible blood-dripping monster.
Okay.
So there you go. Exciting stuff.
Exciting stuff.
So there's an article called Good Morning Little Schoolgirls.
Oh.
I mean, that is dodgy, but that's like an old Yardbird song.
Oh, okay.
Or an old Blue song. So this is about our old pals, the Little Angels.
Living up, kicking out dust. Oh, making his life his own way. He was living it up, all down the dust. Yeah, he's got not just curling love, kicking out dust, kicking out dust.
Right.
And at the time, they were doing gigs in schools. They were just travelling around the country.
Like Let Loose.
Like Let Loose, yeah.
Just like Let Loose.
I think you mentioned seeing Let Loose at school in like one of our very early episodes.
Yeah, got a pencil.
You got a pen.
Said Let Loose on it.
It's all right, isn't it?
It's all right.
Yeah. Got to be off lessons, I guess.
Yeah. They don't tell you at schools. They just say, oh, everyone's going to go to the like gym area, and you're sitting there. Then
you're in trouble.
Suddenly, Let Loose starts playing. It's just such a weird concept, and then you're like, "Cool, that song I don't know." And here's a pencil. Have a nice day. All right.
It was just the one song.
Maybe it was a fever dream. Maybe I never had a Let Loose pencil. I think I did. And I think they might have been like postcards, but maybe I'm imagining that. Definitely a pencil, but it literally just said Let Loose on the pencil. There was nothing else. There was no pictures. Obviously, it's a pencil. There's only so much you put on it, but you know.
I would have thought a postcard would be a bit better as a promotional tool because you can put some more information on.
Yeah, but kids at school, they're using the pencils. Everyone's like, oh, what pencil are you going to use? Well, I'm going to use my Let Loose one, aren't I? Obvs.
But, you're not going to be able to like fit tour dates.
Honestly, I mean, Let Loose, probably the only reason I know how to spell loose or lose, because every time I'm spelling one or the other, I think was it spelled on the Let Loose pencil right? It's the other one, or it's that one. Yeah, that's the right one. So honestly, without them, I'd have no clue.
You'd be writing Let Loose.
I'd be writing Let Loose. I'd look like a right looser. See what I did there? Yeah. That was good. That was good actually, because that wasn't planned.
Yeah,
that's just off the top of my head.
Yeah,
absolutely excellent work.
Not only have we got to thank them for your ability to spell, but also for that joke.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks everyone. Thank you. Cheers. Thank you.
God, didn't think we'd be talking about Let Loose.
All right.
So, So they put Good Morning Little Schoolgirls.
Right. We were talking about
and schoolboys. Along with the usual string of club dates, Scarborough hopefuls Little Angels have chosen to back up the release of their first major label single with a return to the world of chalk and cabbage, desks and dusters, blackboards and biology, shaking gymnasiums nationwide and proving with some conviction that 3 R's really stand for reading, writing and rocking.
Yeah, that's not what they stand for.
The Angels have been playing free lunchtime shows in schools.
Free? Oh, right. Oh, that's nice of them.
Well, if it was the same as the Let Loose one, I mean, the kids didn't even know about it.
They won't have known about it. You don't tell kids, they'll get all excitable, they'll never listen to you.
Yeah. It says they've been losing money on it, but they've been subsidising the trek with evening club gigs. And the response has been astounding.
Losing money on it.
Playing schools.
Why are they doing it?
Not really sure.
I couldn't think of anything worse if I was in a band than to go in front of a bunch of kids who will be honest. Every single one of them will be honest about whether they think you're shit or not.
Well, they're not
going to be polite.
So they're in Sculby School in Scarborough, Yorkshire, which is
that's a funny name.
So there's a picture, and they seem to be into it. Sculby School. I mean, it sounds a bit like Scabby, doesn't it?
I bet that's what the other schools called them.
Yeah.
You say into it. There's some.
They're clapping. They've got their hands in the air.
The main person you're focusing on is a kid who looks not bothered.
Oh.
Next to a kid who looks not bothered. In front of a kid who looks not bothered. No wonder they're losing money.
Pretty harsh.
Is that a teacher at the front? Because he looks way older than the rest. There's no way he's a kid. That one, the one with the bouffant hair. Sexy Michael Baldwin in the front.
Oh, yeah. He looks like a teddy boy or something.
But I like that teacher's been forced to the front to control
that's
the crowd.
a kid. That's
not a kid. No way. Look at that hairstyle. That's not a kid. No way.
I think that's him. That's him. Look.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah. And on both one. No.
I think one of friends at school had hair like that.
I was about to do that thing where on your fingers zoom in because...
Yeah, you cannot zoom in on a magazine.
Damn it. Right, well, if he's a teenager, he looks about 45.
Yeah, but some kids do, don't they?
Well, we'll never know.
Well, we were watching Buffy today, and that guy who was meant to be 19 was obviously about 45.
He was definitely not 19. Although American kids seem, mind you, I'm judging from American kids I've seen in films, they're definitely 45, yeah.
All
Okay.
played by grown adults.
Have we mentioned we were watching Buffy again?
No. Well, do you want to?
Well,
we buried the lead.
Yeah, spoiler. Yeah, really big news. We've started watching Buffy again.
Yeah, that's exciting, isn't it?
That is exciting because we needed something to fill the Golden Girls gap, which I'm still feeling, if I'm honest. I can't wait until you say that we can start that again. I can't wait. Because it was...
Well,
it's the most lovely, lovely program to watch, the Golden Girls. It's pure, calm, bliss, loveliness. Apart from one where they have a home invasion, which I was too scared to watch, so we didn't watch that one. Because that's not
too
nice.
Fucking real, isn't it?
Like I'm coming to the Golden Girls for calm. I don't want... That's horrible. No.
But what was the first thing, after we finished the Golden Girls, what was the first thing we moved on to? Binging.
What was the first thing?
Motherfucking Squid Games, wasn't it?
Squid Game?
Yeah.
Squid Game?
Squid Game, yeah.
Loser.
I call it Squid Games.
I always kept calling it Squid Games. Yeah, we binged that finally after...
Yeah, we were very, very late to the party on that, weren't we? But
I just hate when people say, oh, you should watch this, and then everyone's watching it. I instantly never want to watch a single second of it. I need you to shut up about it, properly shut up, and then I'll watch it. But if you go on about it and say, everyone's watching it, have you watched it? I'm watching anything but.
But like, what was it? Like 3 years down the line, we got to it. But like,
yeah, that's what I mean. So everyone would shut up. And then
season 2, we watched it round about the time everyone else did, though, because it just so happened.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and so
now watching Buffy.
Now on to Buffy,
which is good. Obviously, we watched Buffy at the time.
Well, you suggested it, and I thought, that's not going to hold up, because I was really into it back then. But I thought it's not going to be good. But
it is good.
The season 1, which people always say is really shit, it was fun, wasn't it? It was just good and entertaining.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I think it's good.
Yeah. Any particular insights this time round as an adult?
No.
We're just Googling everyone's age, aren't we?
Yeah. No. I'm just enjoying it, thanks.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to Spike being in it.
Well, I've got some good news for you.
Yeah.
The very next episode.
It's got Spike in it.
Well, just as we were finishing up on the last one.
Oh my God.
Next episode came up and it said,
"Oi." That's my impression of Spike.
Is that how he talks?
Yes, he's like all Billy Idol, isn't he? He's all like, "Hey, London."
He's a bit posher though, isn't he? He's a bit...
I don't know. Well, he's not like a pearly king, but he's like Billy Idol.
Well, we'll soon find out.
Yeah. Have I spoken about when I bought the videos for Buffy?
I feel
like I have.
Yeah, I think we talked about...
Probably have.
You spent so much money on that one.
£70. £70. It was £35 something for 3 of the 6 VHSs for the one season. So you didn't even get the full season for £35. You got 3 VHSs and then you had to buy the other 3. So I bought it all of them for 70 something pounds it would have been. And that time I don't think I had a job. So it was an absolutely astronomical amount of money purely because of Spike. So really he owes me. If I ever meet him, I'm going to ask for some sort of crowdfunding from him because that was a lot of money.
Because it's his responsibility.
I could have invested that £70 at that stage and look, what would I have had now? Now I've got some VHSs that we've probably had to throw out because they're fire risk, aren't they? Or they're not fire risk, but if they do burn, they're going to release bad chemicals into the air, apparently. Yeah. So that's why you've got to get rid of your VHSs. People. I had
most of it on DVD, and I'm still sort of gutted.
Nice, show off.
Well, you spend a lot, like play247.com, like all those box sets. It's like getting it for free now. It's on Disney Plus, and it looks better. I remember the DVDs looking really bad.
Oh my God, I remember you going on about my VHSs. Do you remember about the colour or something?
No, I know what it was. Right,
it was so annoying because I couldn't see it, and would not shut up about it.
We got like a Region 1
that was
DVD of something, and the frame rate wasn't right.
Well, that's what you said.
Yeah, it just kept sort of skipping every.
But no, it didn't. But it didn't.
It did.
So
it was really bothersome.
It annoyed me because you wouldn't shut up about it when we were watching whatever it was. So even though the apparent issue didn't bother me, you were bothering me by going on about it.
And we hadn't known each other long then. I'm fucking surprised you're still with me.
Same. We've not changed. We'd still have those kind of stupid arguments.
We do.
Now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Little Angels at
Little
school.
Angels, yeah.
Losing money.
After a quick shower and school dinner, the band made themselves available for question and answer sessions in one of the classrooms.
Okay.
I wonder how the school dinners were.
Amazing.
They had diverse queries such as, how often do you practice? Any tips for new bands? And why did you change your name from Mr. Thrud?
Is that what they were?
They were called Mr. Thrud, and I don't know why, but I don't know if you know the role-playing magazine White Dwarf.
I know of it.
They had a character called Thrud the Barbarian.
Right.
He was like a gigantic, muscle-bound idiot, and he had a tiny little head. But I can't think it must be a coincidence. But yeah, maybe we'll never know. Has Mr. Crawford, a deputy head and old sparring partner, told you off for wearing leather jackets? That's another question that they had. I've always said that when we got a major deal, we'd love to do a tour of schools, explained Toby afterwards. Toby Jepson, that's the singer and frontman of Little Angels. There's a huge catchment area of kids there because a lot of our fans are too young to go to clubs. It's like Buffy going to the Bronze, not being able to drink. A lot of people into the band are kids who are about 14. There's a huge audience at lunchtime, and obviously it's an investment in our own futures as well as if they buy their
album,
buy our records.
That's true.
It also helps to destroy the myth that all heavy metal is ugly and destructive. And Toby says, exactly, heavy metal's not usually seen in the correct light, especially in England. After playing in America, supporting Ingrid J. Malmsteen, we've realised that the most music over there is automatically considered as rock, whether over here you have to tend to be called an outcast if you admit to liking it. We had kids tell us afterwards that they weren't keen on the music, but they still enjoyed the way we performed.
Ah.
If they say that, then we know we've done our jobs. I mean, it'd be a bit better if they said they like the music as well.
Well, you can't help what you like.
Do you see other bands giving this a try, or will you be ridiculed for it? Well, there's a let loose, I suppose.
Well,
quote, I don't give a shit if other people sneer at what we've done. I've never seen audiences go as mad as these ones. It's not that difficult to arrange, and I advise anyone to give it a try.
Ah, cute.
So there you go. When we form our band, we can...
Well, no way I'm scared of teenagers.
Yeah, they're fucking horrible.
Oh my God. They'd tell me I was shit.
So yeah, I mean, that's the end of the magazine. We've finally come to the end, this epic trek through Raw number 4. So what have we learned?
Raw number 4. Like really some good stuff.
We've really learned good stuff, haven't we?
Yeah.
So yeah,
what's going to be next?
Next time, I don't know. I was reading some cues. We haven't done Q in a while.
Right.
I mean, one thing I did think was because we're watching Buffy, I could find a Kerrang from around about that time.
That'd be a good idea.
Yeah, so 96, 97, that kind of time.
Yeah.
You could do that. So yeah, we'll have a dig through. But obviously, if you've got any requests, if you want us to talk about anything, just fucking write to us. We're right here. We're not in huge demand, so we'll do pretty much anything you want.
Within reason.
Over the past few days, I've been going back through all our old podcasts.
Right.
And I've been putting chapter headings, chapter stops. So, I mean, depending on what podcast platform you listen to on, you'll be able to see chapters, and you can skip over us talking about
shit you're not interested
the shit
in.
You're not interested in, get straight to
most
the Kerrang.
Stuff,
But I've noticed there's a few things that pop up over and over again. So can you guess any of the things that I've noted? I call it our Banter Box. As we watch William, he's got a Banter Box. Stuff we've talked about like a couple of times. A lot,
yeah. But I mean, then I do forget a lot. Tell me. Just tell me.
Okay, well, the story about the moon.
You get mad at because I knew what the moon smells like.
I didn't actually get mad, but you like to say I did.
Well, if you not getting mad is you going, I just want to know. I just want to know why. Well, like, why'd you know? Well, but why'd you know it smells like that? I'm just asking, but why'd you know? And I'm like, just, no, but why'd you know?
So if
I'm just asking. I'm not bothered.
If you're listening to
if that's not mad, then yeah, no, you weren't mad.
Listen to old episodes to look for Banter Box the moon. There's also a sort of small singer-songwriter. He's got prominent eyebrows.
Christerberg. Nice.
We talk about Christerberg a lot.
Do we?
Yeah. We talk about Michael Bolton.
Of course. Well, obviously.
Richard Marx Hazard.
It used to be so normal. I thought you'd get a job and grow up to be a doctor or a lawyer or something normal like that. Normal, huh? Normal's something people are until you get to know them. Everybody's crazy. Everybody's crazy.
Matthew Tripp. Talk about a lot.
Who's Matthew Tripp?
Well, Matthew Tripp is the guy who's pretending to be Nikki Sixx.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Talk about him a lot.
Yeah.
Talk about Shakin' Stevens a lot.
Fair.
Yeah, the moon.
Fair.
Matthew Tripp. Cringing. TSB, Rock School, we talk about a lot. For the Love of Horror. The Lost Boys. Right. I mean, probably The Lost Boys is the thing we mostly talk about.
Yeah, fair.
So yeah, join us next time for probably one of those things in excruciating detail. We'll give you an update on your hair.
We haven't Disneyed. You haven't Disneyed anything?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, Disney.
That gives a bad. If someone like we already talk about like interesting things.
Yeah, and Christopher.
Come on, yeah, and Shakin' Stevens.
Shaky, yeah.
Green Door. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. So I mean, with 38 minutes, you got 1.5 minutes left for your type 40.
Our type 40, I'd say make sure you vote in that Kerrang.
Oh yeah. Vote for RJ and the Painful Memories, please.
Yep. Go on a vote.
Favour to us.
How do they find out where to vote?
You go to. Well, I've got a link here.
If you go to Kerrang, there'll be a thing on Kerrang.
Yeah. If you go to Kerrang Radio,
the deal.
I mean, it's hellorayo.com.
Oh, right, yeah, because on Rayo, the app.
Yeah, we here at Kerrang Radio, in association with Marshall Records and the Download Festival, giving one band the opportunity of a lifetime. So, yeah, I think they've got a number of different... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. They've got 10 bands. But it's just this week Probably a different 10 bands. Oh, we better get this.
You
Better get this podcast straight up. Fucking hell. Yeah, we might have missed it, but if we've missed it, then just listen to RJ and the Painful Memories on YouTube.
Yes.
Proper rocking. And
give it a like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe. I mean, you could like and subscribe us.
Yeah, no one wants to do that.
I mean, the people who already are.
Exactly.
And yeah. So there you go.
Stay metal.
Stay metal, please.
Cut all that out.
But yeah, people don't want that.
Shut up.